And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is Python. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who has supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at murdycreative.co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us to keep up to date with our daily photos and be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving, personalization options, and exclusive colors on the website, or you can get a blank one on Amazon Prime. All right, so first and foremost, I am so excited that we're going to be announcing a new color, I guess is the right way to describe it, called Python today. There's just so many cool things that have been coming down the pipeline with so many new developments, and I've just been working really hard on some new designs. But it's always fun to see something that I've been working on for a while come to fruition. And this is one of those things that this started, how far back does this go? October of last year? In October of last year, I'd been evaluating some other of the local tanneries. I was very happy with our current, supplier. We've had a wonderful relationship with them, but there are limitations to what they can do. And so I'd been looking at some of the other local suppliers just to see if there was things that they could do that our current supplier couldn't, or if they had areas of expertise that we wanted to obviously capitalize on in the effort to bring you guys the very best all the time. And there was a tannery that I toured and I loved it. It was a very large tannery. It had a lot of cool features and things like that. But one of the things that I was very impressed with was that they had options to do things like water buffalo. Now, I asked them about some exotic leathers just to see if they had suppliers, and they could work with that. But, I realized when I was working with them on the discussion about how we were going to use the products, and they had some insights on that truly exotic leathers probably aren't the right thing for our product. There might be one or two options out there, but when you think about tanning leather, just in general, obviously the thickness of the hide, the thickness of the skin before it's tanned affects how it's going to, like the thickness of the material after it's tanned. Like that's just a rule. You can't add more really. So the problem with using a lot of the exotic leathers, getting away from obviously the cow, is that the leather itself isn't very thick to start with. And obviously with our design, with our single layer, that's a very, very key component. And so we'd been working on kind of brainstorming how do we work around this? How do we provide opportunities? And they suggested water buffalo. Now, water buffalo is a variation on a cow. Let's just be serious. It is a different kind of type of cow. And water buffalo grows thicker hides, and you can go Google water buffalo and you can see what I'm talking about. But there is an advantage to using water buffalo over cowhide for these particular things, in that it's a little bit of a denser hide and it's a little bit thicker by default. So it starts off in a thicker place, which means that when you slice it down to get just the good stuff, you're actually being able to maintain still pretty impressive thicknesses. So I was touring the factory, and then they went to the showroom, and every tannery I've ever been to has one of these, and I love walking into their showrooms because they're just such a cool experience. And it's just usually it's a wall of leather, and it's got some sort of cool swatch book sitting out on the table, and it's just mountains of swatches. And sometimes if they're fancy, they'll have like a glass case with finished products made with their leather, which is always kind of fun to see because you can kind of get a sense of who actually uses their leather, and sometimes it's big names like Adidas and things like that. But there was this, so I was able to kind of go to I toured the factory, and then I went down, or the tannery, and then I went down to the showroom, and it was just very cool. They brought out cool swatch books, and so I'm looking through these, and I come across this one, and then I came across another, and another, and another, and I'm like, oh, these are incredible. And they were water buffalo, but they were printed. So they were actually impressed with a large tool. Now, the way it works when you emboss into leather this way specifically, so not just kind of your standard hand embosser, which is small and can only apply a certain amount of pressure, right? There's limitations to that. In the tannery, when they're creating the leather itself, they are actually putting this in a massive multi-ton press with a big plate that's got the design on it, and then they're compressing it. It just shocks down, and it holds heavily on the leather. And then it stays for as long as it needs to, and then it pops back up, and it creates this very deep rolling indentation that's permanent because of the fact that the tanning process that comes after that kind of permanently solidifies that. So you can get these beautiful designs. And for those of you who are watching the podcast on our YouTube video, I'm going to do my best to show it off here. It's kind of hard, obviously, to tell some of the neat details just without getting really, really close and into the leather. But the leather itself has this really, really beautiful three-dimensional pattern that you can feel on the leather. It's a very deep pattern. And it's a very, very convincing texture for snakeskin, which we're calling Cobra. No, Python. We're calling Python. Sorry. And we went through a couple of different iterations of the name. But the advantage of this is that this one's actually hand painted. So when you do leather tanning, obviously you tan the hide in the beginning of the process, and then this one gets compressed, and then it actually gets a hand layer applied, a hand applied dye to the end of it, which means that the dimensional aspect of it, the pits and the valleys, the peaks and the valleys, have a different color, just like a regular snake would. And so it's this unbelievably convincing, very, very cool hide that we're using for these particular designs. And because of the fact that it's made out of the water buffalo, we can actually maintain the thickness and the temper of the leather, despite the fact that it's got this neat kind of impression in it. So I'm really excited about launching this new one. And actually, it represents for us kind of a conscious decision that I made about 4, 5, 6 months ago when I was thinking about this. And it was, my decision at that time, and this obviously is always subject to change because my mind is always subject to change, but my thought at that time was, all right, let's not necessarily expand our product line in the design aspect too heavily. Instead, let's take things that are big winners for us, amazing journals, folios, things like that, and let's work on expanding them and creating new opportunities and new options for them, for those who love these products. And that was a decision, and we got the process rolling on this one, and now this is one coming to fruition, and we'll see exactly how this plays out. I would love to see this one become a big seller for us, a big winner for us. But it was a decision to say, let's take our core product line that are our winners, our best products, and work on creating products that are similar or like them in a different way, right? That have aspects of them, but in a new way. And I think that, we'll see how that plays out in the long run. It helps us avoid the brand dilution that happens when you start to get these massive product lines, right? You get away from what are we best at. And I think while we can obviously continue to expand on our product line, and we will, this is a step, I think, towards pushing that product line as far as it can go. Now, I'm excited to see this product launch, and for all I know, this will become a big winner and we'll keep it on for a while. We're actually calling this one a special edition. So the difference between limited edition and special edition is the limited edition, there is a set number, a specific number, and when we're out, we're not getting it ever again. And it's going to have on the back of it, limited edition, 1 of 100, 2 of 100, X, Y, and Z, right? Special editions are ones that come out. We'll see how they sell. If they sell well, we may keep them, we may not. They may go in and out of style. There may be some seasonality to it. For example, we've got a new color that we're excited about that we're going to launch that's only going to be available from Memorial Day to Labor Day. And that color is going to be available during the summer months. And then it's going to go away and it'll be back next summer. And that's the plan for that particular product as well, which I'll tell you more about when we get there. But this kind of thing, this special edition variation on it, it's possible that it's got a big market, right? It's possible that there's a big market out there for it, but it's possible that there isn't. And something for me, obviously, running this business the way we have, we've done a lot of ready, fire, aim, and that's not really part of our 2020 strategy. And so I'm trying to not do that, right? So we're having a little more planning in all of our processes. And this particular idea, this particular design was, let's limit what we've got. Let's only get a little bit of it. Let's have only our best items cut out of it. And then we're going to, roll it out. So we'll see these roll out. We are going to start out for the classic and the metric cut. Eventually, we're going to add some more. We're not going to have our entire line in this ever, but we will have some more of some things. And we've only got a handful of just in general, right? There's not that many of them in general. So if you're really interested in this and you like this, you better get it right away, because it's the kind of thing where if it sells out, we may not get more for a long time, probably months and months. So, but we'll see, right? The future is always the unknown. And I think for us, it's a cool product. It's a cool design. It's a cool opportunity to see if the product is something that's viable in an alternative format, in an alternative way. We've been evaluating a new color. For those of you who were following us on Twitter and on Snapchat, I gave you guys a little bit of a snippet. But we've been evaluating a new variation on our espresso that we're thinking of calling our Americano. And it's the same thing as our Bordeaux, right? It's the same finish, that beautiful waxy finish, but with the kind of that brown undertone. And after playing with it for a little while, I realized that really I think the distressed version of it is actually more beautiful and better for the purposes of what we're going for here. So, for all I know, that'll be a new variation on this. We'll launch that sometime. So The moral of the story, and I think this is really the thing to take away from all of this, is that if you've got a winner, a big winner that's a product that you like, that is a good seller, think to yourself, is there ways to improve on this design without changing the design? And you may say to yourself, well, how is that possible? Well, you can improve on designs by offering them in new colors, in new styles, in new markets, and even as something as simple as new marketing that shows the product doing something it wasn't previously shown doing. Even that can be an improvement on a core product line. So, you want to take your best products and you want to make them work even better. And you want to take the products that aren't working very well and see if you can find a market for them. So I think for us, we're going to be going through that. And this is part of a new step for us as well, and part of this new directions, in that we're working on kind of cleaning up the website. And by that, I mean we're getting rid of some pre-engravings. So some of the pre-engravings that we've had that have not been massively successful sellers, those are going to be seasonal. And we're going to probably target those. We're going to start doing things more and more where they're on the website for a little while and then they're gone. And that's specifically because I think we want to try new things. And the problem is if we try new things and they stay up forever, the website gets unbelievably complicated and clogged. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be launching new things. They're going to be around for a little while and then they're going to disappear. I'm calling it the McRib style. So we'll see if that works out. It works out for a lot of other companies and maybe it'll work out for us. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in today. Be sure to check back on Thursday for our next topic. And don't forget to check that subscribe button. Be sure to be sure to get the latest podcast right away. If you have any questions or concerns about your leather binder, please feel free to contact us on the main page of our website at Murdy Creative Co. You can also contact us via Instagram and Facebook. You can text, email, call, direct message, all the usuals. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, but I do appreciate your patience. To be honest, email is the best form of communication with us. And while it is fine for you to do this, if you send us multiple emails, what it does is the system shows only the most recent email. So if we're going in order of emails from the oldest to the newest, the system shows us that you're in the newest if you send another email. So just please be patient with us. We're really working hard to keep up with it. With the new baby, it's a little more challenging. So also, if you do message us on Instagram or Facebook, sometimes I check those and sometimes I don't. So it can be kind of spurts and fits as far as my communication on those channels. So your patience is always appreciated as I'm working on getting back to those. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow our new community. You can do that on Facebook. Go to facebook.com, and then you can go either /murdycreative.co or you can search murdycreative.co. On our page, there's a reviews section. Click reviews, and then you can read all of our reviews. We have a ton of great reviews. And then we also have, you can say, do you recommend the Murdy Creative Company? You can click yes, and then you can write your review. So that's how you can go leave us a review on Facebook if you'd like. Word of mouth is still the best form of advertising those, so please tell your friends. That being said, check out our brand ambassador program. If you haven't, we've already done some really cool things on the ambassador program, where we're going to do some more cool things. For example, we may be doing some giveaways where we give away a limited edition or one where a prototype to the people who are the best salesmen or the people who are repping the brand the best. Those people might get something that we never launch, right? Some cool prototype that I designed that I decided not to launch for whatever reason. So check out the brand ambassador program at murdycreative.co/ambassador. If you're looking for multiple binders for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, ask about our bulk discounts. We do offer those, and we are happy to offer them to you if you're getting a quantity of 5 or more, so really low quantities for the bulk discounts. But check that out. We're happy to do custom engraved stuff, and we do a lot of that for big restaurants and things like that, and we'd love to do it for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.